The former MVP Derrick Rose has agreed to a 2-year deal to join the Grizzlies, taking the basketball world by storm. With Ja Morant's recent scandals and Dillon Brooks' disappointing performance, the Memphis Grizzlies desperately need a skilled veteran player. The addition of D. Rose is being considered a game-changing move. And that's not it. The Grizzlies have made history with Desmond Bane's 5-year contract extension worth $207 million. Where are the Memphis Grizzlies headed? Are these wise decisions or desperate moves to get their reputation back? We have a lot to cover today. Let's dig in. The contract reached between Memphis Grizzlies and Derrick Rose is reportedly worth $6.5 million. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski confirmed that the Grizzlies want Rose on the floor this season and a leader in the locker room. They have placed a huge responsibility on Rose's shoulders, but it is nothing he can't handle. Back in 2008, Rose was the overall first pick by the Chicago Bulls. He quickly made an impact in the NBA, earning the NBA Rookie of the Year award in his debut season. In 2011, Rose became the youngest player in NBA history to win the league's Most Valuable Player (MVP) award. Unfortunately, Rose's career was plagued by injuries that significantly impacted his playing time in subsequent seasons. He faced several setbacks and underwent multiple surgeries, but he persevered and continued to work on his game. Apart from the Bulls, Rose has had stints with several NBA teams, including Detroit Pistons and New York Knicks. He averaged 5.6 points in 12.5 minutes per game last season for the Knicks. The 34-year-old point guard has played 14 seasons and is a 3-time All-Star. While Rose fell out of the rotation with the Knicks last season, he was a valuable depth piece the previous 2 seasons, when he averaged 12 points in 26 games during the 2021-22 season and 14.9 points the previous season. Rose also became a key contributor off the bench for the Knicks, providing scoring, playmaking, and veteran leadership. And that is exactly what Memphis Grizzlies need right now. The presence of Rose will be a powerful influence on players like Morant, whose phenomenal career is suffering due to his reckless behavior. Morant's rise to stardom has been nothing short of remarkable. However, Morant's history is now polluted with several controversies, including the use of violence, the display of guns, and multiple suspensions. The most recent incident brought him a 25-game suspension. A video, which is no longer on Instagram, shows Morant in the passenger seat of a car, and when the camera pans to Morant, he appears to be holding a gun. After an investigation, Morant was suspended from all team activities. The Grizzlies did not specify when Morant's suspension will end, but it has been announced that Morant will miss the first 25 games of the upcoming 2023-2024 NBA season. Surprisingly, this was not Morant's first suspension. He was suspended for 8 games in March 2023 after posting a similar video at a strip club in Denver, Colorado. Following a game against the Denver Nuggets, he waved a gun during an Instagram Live video in the club. Colorado police ultimately decided not to press charges against Morant, but called the video concerning. Morant, too, apologized for his behavior, taking full responsibility for his actions, and said he would take some time away to get help. The latest incident seems to recommend that Morant has learned nothing from his past mistakes. If we dig a little deeper, a whole bunch of allegations against Morant are uncovered. Starting from September 2022, when Ja Morant's mother, Jamie, reportedly had a dispute with a mall employee. There were rumors that Morant showed up with 9 men to fight the mall's shoe store employee. He was accused of harassment, but no charges were pressed. 4 days after the incident, Morant was involved in another incident. He was accused of hitting a 17-year-old during a pickup basketball game at his home in Memphis. According to a report by the teenager, Morant and his friend, Devontae Pack punched him in the head and jaw several times. He further claimed that Ja flashed a handgun in his face. The high schooler and his mother filed a lawsuit against Morant and Pack last September. But once again, no action was taken. A similar incident took place in January 2023. Ja Morant, his father, T. Morant, and some of his bodyguards got into a verbal altercation with some Indiana Pacers players. After the game, Ja's friends, including Pack, made a scene. pointing a laser gun at the Pacers bus while the two teams were on their way to leave the premises. After reviewing the security footage, NBA spokesperson Mike Bass stated that he couldn't confirm that any individual was threatened with a weapon. Since then, Ja Morant appears to have made flashing a gun a habit. The recent 25-game suspension may teach him a lesson. As stated before, fans and media have high expectations from Derrick Rose and his mentorship skills. Memphis has made multiple moves this summer to add veterans to its roster of young stars. First, it was the addition of Rose, and now it's a trade for longtime Boston Celtics point guard Marcus Smart. During the NBA 2023 draft, the Grizzlies made a three-way trade with Boston and Washington. Grizzlies acquired Marcus Smart in the trade, whereas their backup point guard Tyus Jones landed with Celtics. Losing Jones is a blow since he was one of the Grizzlies' best three-point shooters, but acquiring a former Defensive Player of the Year in his prime is hard to pass on. Adding Smart knocks out two birds with one stone. Memphis needed a replacement for Dillon Brooks, the young defender whose antics caught up to him in the playoffs as he failed to contain LeBron James and shot worse than 30% from outside. Moreover, Smart is a massive upgrade over Brooks. Smart has more big-game experience and is a much more well-rounded offensive player. Secondly, Memphis is trying to bounce back from a first-round exit against the Los Angeles Lakers, and Smart, who averaged a career-high 6.3 assists per game last season, will be more than capable of stepping into the starting point guard role, while Ja Morant is serving his suspension. Above all, Marcus Smart has all the leadership qualities that the Memphis Grizzlies require. Before we wrap up today's video, one more massive update from the Memphis Grizzlies needs to be discussed, and that is Desmond Bane's $205 million five-year contract extension with Grizzlies, making it the largest contract in team history. Critics have called the contract an overprice, but Bane is worth it. He is Grizzlies' homegrown star and has repeatedly proved his worth. Despite appearing in just 58 games during the 2022-23 campaign, Bane put together his best season yet, averaging 21.5 points, 5.0 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and 1.0 steals, while shooting 47.9% from the floor and 40.8% deep. Bane also had a solid postseason for the Grizzlies, averaging 23.5 points, 6.0 rebounds, and 3.2 assists in 6 playoff games. Despite an off-season surgery, the Grizzlies are confident that he is expected to be ready for the 2023-24 campaign. Given the numbers, extending Desmond Bane's contract is a wise decision. Memphis Grizzlies' future is bright if they play their cards right. They are the second youngest team in the league and are repeatedly praised for their defensive skills. Players like Jaren Jackson Jr., Ja Morant, and Desmond Bane are exceptional young talents yet to reach their prime. The only problem the Memphis Grizzlies has been facing is a lack of leadership for young rosters. However, their plan to fill this void is already in place. Fans and critics are hopeful that Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose will be valuable additions to the team. With the perfect collaboration of experienced players and young rosters, there's no stopping the Memphis Grizzlies. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel for future updates. And as always, thank you for watching.